Hi and welcome. Sorry I didn't get to do my Facebook Live Friday, but I did say I would try to do an impromptu Facebook Live sometime over the weekend. Well, something's just turned up in my letterbox, which is very unusual for a Sunday. I'm just going to very quickly just find us on my Facebook, my tablet, just so then if there are any comments we can see. I'm assuming I'm in the right spot. I'm hoping I'm in the right spot. Let's just have a quick look. Make sure I'm not somewhere where I shouldn't be. Won't be one sec. I think we're in the right spot. Yes, we are. Okay, this is just a very quick impromptu because as I said, I've got something in my box. Let me turn that volume down. You don't need to hear me twice. That's better. Okay. Oh, hi Mary, thanks for joining. Okay, one of the perks, well not actually a perk, but one of the things that happens when you're in Stampin' Up, you have a Stampin' Up birthday every year, like we do with our own birthdays. And earlier this year, or around about September, I celebrated 10 years for Stampin' Up. And I have been patiently waiting, maybe a little bit impatiently, but patiently waiting for something special to come in the mail. So I haven't even, I've taken the envelope that it's come in, but I actually haven't looked at it yet. So I thought I'd share it with you. And then I thought we might even make a card together. So let me just flip my camera. So bear with me one sec. My desk is a complete mess. I haven't cleaned up anything. I've been playing all day today. So please excuse the mess, but this is how I roll when I'm just being creative and I'm not actually working or trying to keep things clean for a live. So this is me, this is it. Don't even think my hair's brushed. So let's go for it. Let me flip the camera. Won't be one moment. Okay, let's hopefully, because as I said, I've done nothing here, so I haven't even checked to make sure whether everything is lined up or not. Let me just move this camera back a little bit. See if that works better. And here's my box. So let's have a look at this together. So we don't need that anymore. We'll get rid of that. And here I've got this really cute little box. It's really, really, really nice. A lovely little box with a little elastic toggle around the button there on the front. I love these colours and everything that Stampin' Up are using now. And open it up and I've got my 10-year pin. So for my 10-year anniversary. And that's amazing. I'm just I'm really pleased with getting that. So yeah, it can now go and hang on my hanger with my 5-year pin. But anyway, that's what I just wanted to share with you today because I'm just really, really excited about getting that. And on the inside here it says, congratulations on your Stampin' Up anniversary. Wear this pin proudly. So yeah, no, I think that's great. That's going to be something that's going to be very, very special. May even just stay in the box for a little while. So let me just pop that to one side. Now, as I said, I just thought I might quickly do a card. I'm playing with a few ideas for something else. As you can see, I've got lots of things all piled up over here. And I just sort of thought, oh, I've got another card idea and I might make it. So I thought, why not us make it together? So what I've got is I've got some basic grey. Yes, I've got some basic grey cardstock. So I've got one piece here for my card base. And that measures 10.5 centimeters. Let's just check it because I haven't measured anything. These are just some pieces left over, so I might just trim that down a little bit. So that's 10.5 centimeters by 29.9. So I'm going to score that at 14.9. Get rid of that cutting blade. And then I've got a piece here. And I'm not quite sure what we're going to cut this down to yet. It's going to be I might do it at 9.7 in width by 14.1. So that's allowing me to put a mat behind that, which I possibly will do in something like basic white. So I might just grab a piece of basic white out now, and let me see if I've got a piece here that I can use. Yes, I can cut that down. So I'm going to cut this down to my mat size, and I like to cut my mat size at 14.4 by 10. So 14.4 by 10, and I might as well cut that other piece down the same measurements, and that would do the inside of my card as well. By 14.4, I might just take it from that end. I always look at the corners and the edges of my cardstock when I'm trimming down, because if there's any damage you can just trim that part off. So it's always a good thing to look for that when you're looking at your cardstock and what you're going to be doing. So let's grab this piece here, get rid of that little bit, fold that in half, grab the bone folder, and let's just get that a nice crisp. So we're going to have, possibly have that as our mat, our white mat, and pop that on top. Just a nice little fine line, don't need it too thick. I like to have my mats, probably my from original card size, if you go back to our card base, by the time that's folded in half, that's 10.5 centimeters by 14.8 or 14.9. That 1 millimeter between the 8 and the 9 is usually taken up in the fold of your card. I usually like to work my mat down 5 millimeters narrower. So my card base is 10.5 wide, then my mat is 10, and that's giving me like 2.5 mil all around. Then I like to take the next size down 3 mil. I know there are a lot of people out there like to do increments of just 5 millimeters every time, and that's really good, but sometimes it's nice to use a measurement in between, and I like actually going the 5 mil from the card base, but then 3 mil after that, if I was going to keep my increments going, because I just like to, sometimes having too much color can be around your work can be take your focus away from your work, whereas just a little bit of color around the edge actually can make it pop rather than taking your eye away from the work. Now this card, my idea is actually going to be really all just grey and white, so we're going to do some embossing, some heat embossing on this. And the stamp set I thought I would try play with is this one here, Blessings of Home, and I really love this big one. I know I've used this one a few times, but I haven't used the big one, so I'm going to use that. And I think for this size one I'm going to use my Stamparatus. So I do actually have that just sitting here, so let me grab that. Now if you've been watching any of my YouTube videos on the Stamparatus, you know that I like to have my silicone mat underneath there. Now let me just grab it and actually clean it down, because I've been playing with the pastel chalks today, so I've got chalk powder all over it. So just let me give that a bit of a good wipe. I sometimes like just putting that silicone mat underneath where I'm stamping, just to give me like a shim, basically, just to give that little bit extra height, but not too much for the stamp to come down on, especially with the red rubber ones. So I'm going to pop that in there and put my scratch paper over the top. And then we've got our cardstock here, and I'm going to position that probably on that line there. Let's just pop that down, and let's decide where this is going to go. So I really want that to go about that. I want a little bit more space at the bottom. My general rule of thumb, and this is something I was taught when I learned a bit of show card and ticket writing, is you want to have a little bit more space at the bottom and then at the top. It's not a hard and fast rule, because there was a card I made earlier today which I can't show you at the moment, and it was probably the opposite, had more space at the top. But it's just particularly if you're putting wording or something on it, you don't want to have it too close to the bottom, because then it tends to look like it's actually falling off the card rather than staying on the card. So it's like the rule of thirds. You know, you want to have your line going across here, and this is where I generally will put any sentiments or anything, is around about that 1/3 mark from the bottom. So if it's not too close, then it's not going to be looking like it's falling off. So I'm just going to close that so that my plate can pick up that image. Now I'm not quite sure how this is going to go, because it's quite a detailed image, and we're going to do some white embossing on that. So I've got my Versamark ink pad here, and I'm just going to ink this up quite well. And by using my Stamparatus, I can come back and re-ink it a second time, which I may do. So let's pop that down. Now let me get my Chucky. I remember these Chuckies I made myself by just using a, I think it was a D acrylic block that we sell in our catalogue. And then at the $2 shop or the reject shop, I bought a piece of felt that had adhesive on the back of it that would normally go under your furniture, and attach that. But it was still a bit scratchy, and I didn't want to damage my plates. So I got a little bit of felt. Fortunately, I got the felt that was my embroidery felt. So I've actually used a really good quality wool felt on this, but I would recommend that you actually get yourself just a piece of acrylic felt. And a square of that's usually only $1 or $2 a piece. And then just, I think I used our adhesive sheets on the back of that, and then attached that onto there, and it works quite well. Being a square, it gets right into those corners, and it just helps you give you pressure over the top of your work to make sure that that's all adhered down. Well, not adhered, but your ink is reaching those surfaces. But I'm going to put a bit more on this, because I can see that there are certain areas there I haven't had enough Versamark ink on, so I'm going to redo this again. Just use my Chucky again. Let's have a look again. Just missing a little bit over here, so I'm just going to have another go, just really, because I want to make sure that when I put my embossing powder on it, it is actually going to get those areas. So we're going to give that one a go. Whoops. Again. Just got stuff sticking out everywhere here. Let's pop that in there so it's out of the road. Now that's where I want to get it. Still not getting a lot of contact. Maybe it doesn't have it there. So we're just going to ink that just another time. This is the beauty of the Stamparatus. You can go back, as long as nothing here has moved, you can go back and redo. Yeah, look, when I look at this picture, there isn't much image on that area just there, which is where I'm concerned about. So I think we're going to have as much as we're going to get. Really? Okay, let's just see how this goes. Okay, so we've stamped that. Even that just on itself looks lovely. And that's just a, because we've used a clear ink, it actually just acts like a watermark. So you could actually just leave that like that. But we're going to put some white embossing powder on there. So let's move that out of the road, find somewhere to pop that. Got a piece of scratch paper here. I do have my white embossing powder here because I've been using it all afternoon. Let's tap that. Get rid of any of that excess. Okay, that's looking good. I'm happy with that. So I hope you're having a lovely weekend. It's been quite cool here. We should be in the starting to really heat up here in Australia with our summer. We usually this time of year we're worrying about bushfires and things, but this year we've sort of it's a bit cool. We might have a cold Christmas, which means that most people have salads and fish, you know, prawns and lobsters and all that sort of thing for their Christmases here. I'm just heating up my heat gun. But a traditional hot Christmas meal might be quite called for this Christmas. Not winter, but Christmas. So we're just going to heat this up. And I'm just going around the whole image and waiting for that embossing powder to change from a matte white to a shiny white. And it's just starting to change now. It's amazing to watch this all change. It's like you're watching magic. Sort of really just brightens up. If you feel that your cardstock is starting to bow a little bit from the heat, just run the heat gun on the back of it. And we're just going to go over this just a bit more, just to make sure we've got all those little bits and pieces. But you want to be careful. You don't want to get too close because you don't want to burn your work. And that's looking fantastic. Wow, that's come up really great. I'm really pleased with that. So let's just bring this back in, and I want to mount that onto there. Just wanted to keep this really, really simple card actually. Just don't even know whether I want to put any ribbon or anything, but I might, if I'm going to do that, I'm going to pop it around the matting as well. Just going to, it has bowed a little bit, so let's just push that down and then make sure we've got that all even all over. And I'm just going to grab a heavy block. So this is what you can do if you're a bit concerned about your work bowing a little bit. You can pop a good heavy block on top of it, and that will flatten it out a little bit. So I'm just going to move this to one side a bit. I'm going to just pop that on that so I can see it, because I'm trying to work out now. Let's have a look at that stamp set again, and let's have a look and see what we can use for our sentiment. Because it's what is going to fit if I do the sentiment in Thank you for inspiring me. Yeah, because I like to keep it up here somewhere, as I was saying before. And I'm just wondering if I can find it. This is what happens when you do things impromptually. You've got nothing planned, nothing organised, and you need to find it. So let's have a look. Tailored made tags. Let's see what we've got there. The other one that's got nice tags, not quite sure where it is. Let's just have a look at this first. If we grab our tailored made tags, I'm just thinking the smallest one, is that going to fit? No. Let's have a look at the one. That one's actually smaller. Go too big though, we're going to lose. Let's just remove that for the moment. If we do a tag that size, it's going to cover up a lot of that, and I don't really want to do that. Okay, that one may not work. Let me think. In my mess here, do I have... I've just got everything everywhere here because I've just been making such a mess. Might be on my shelf. Let me go over there and have a look. Just thinking, or do I just do a... Let's just stamp this up and see what we come up with. Okay, so where did I put those white scraps? Up here. So we need some more basic white. I wonder what... got an idea. Let's see if I can pull this one off, and let's see if I can make this work. Cut out all these discs for somebody the other day, so need my Stamparatus again. This is probably not the best way to do it, but what I want to do is stamp a portion of that onto there. Okay. Let's just... Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop... My work area is getting smaller and smaller. I'm actually just going to ink up a little bit of that stamp and stamp it straight down on my... so I can see. It's probably too big. better. Now I want to pop this maybe around about there. Let's just see if we can close that up. Yep, that magnet's not going to be in the road. Give this a good inking. Oh, beautiful. Spot on. Okay. That doesn't need to be inked twice. So that is that. And actually, I might use this again. But we're going to flip it over. Let me just clean that down first, and then I won't get ink all over my hands. We hope. Nothing worse than doing a project and getting almost to the finish and you've got ink all over you. So let's get rid of that. I'm going to reposition this, but what I want to do is match all this up again. Probably should have just left it, but I want to pop all of that onto there. It's nice and straight. Let's pick that up and take that off. And we want our memento. Just close that off. Oh, nice. I'm happy with that too. Okay, now I can remove all of that. Nope, didn't get my finger in that. Good. So now I'm just pulling things off my desk really here at the moment. I think I might pop some of this round. Oops. Probably about that much. See if I can tie a bow. Usually I like doing these upside down because I get nicer bows. What you can also do too, if you're having trouble with holding your knot down, actually I might just turn this around anyway. You can put a little glue dot underneath that knot just to hold it in place while you tie a bow, but I'm just going to try to do it without the glue dot. Okay, let's have a look. Play with this bow until you get the size you want. Now I do want to move all of that just across a little bit. And I hope you can all see okay, because I'm just realizing that the sun must be gone down, or it's gone behind a cloud somewhere, because I don't have much light coming into my room. Okay, I want some dimensionals, but I wanted a large pack, large ones. Trying to find some that are already started here with so many. Couple on there, that'll do me. So I'm going to pop one there. One up there. Let's cut some of this up. Never waste all this stuff here. This always comes in handy. Thank you. So I want to put one across there. Basically, I want it to go over the... want to leave room in the middle there for the twine to be hidden. But now what we've got to do, I haven't actually taken off any of the backings as yet, because what I want to try to do is work out where this is all going to go. And we know that that wants to go in there. Okay. Let's see if we can get this, line this all up. Only just taken those two center ones out. So that flower is that flower. Maybe I did this a little bit crooked. Let's have a look. I think if I match up the big flower more so than the little flowers, everything else will just come into line, I think. Lift it up a little bit, because so I can see what I am doing. We'll move that down. If I am a bit crooked, it's... I don't think you're going to tell. Now let's take the backings off. Where are your tweezers when you want them? With everything else in my mess somewhere. Okay, let me see if I can get pry this out. Might just be able to get that off. Oh, I'm starting to make that look too crooked. Probably not as perfect as I would like to be, but that is fine. And let's add some more dimensionals onto the back of this. There was today supposed to be the possibility of rain. I'm not quite sure, but I think I can smell it coming. Sounds like my husband's out there mowing the lawn, so fresh rain on freshly cut grass is one of my favourite smells. It's the one smell when I moved from the country as a young girl moving to Sydney, and it's the one smell I really missed. It was the smell of the rain hitting the red earth where I come from, which is a little place called Leeton. You could always smell the rain. It was lovely. Okay, let's have a go and see if I can get this first go. Put that around nice and straight and even. Yes, I'm happy with that. So that's that. And now we need something on here just to decorate this a little bit, I think. And what we might do is actually grab the smaller of these flowers. Pop this onto a block. And we're going to use basic grey again. And I'm just going to ink this off just to one side. I can even go off the page a little bit, but just to there. Just keeping that very simple. Always like to put my lids back on my glue again so they don't dry out a bit. Let's just give that a good rub. And there you go. And that's my impromptu card. Now what we could do, these are the basic grey and very vanilla and white dots that come with the pack. That comes with this sweet don't think I want so I might just grab a smaller one of those, pop one there, larger one there, and another small one. I think that's enough. Okay, so there you go. A little bit of an impromptu card on my messy desk. So I hope you've enjoyed just seeing that. Just a very simple card with just using our basic grey cardstock with our basic white and the black memento for our stamping along with the basic grey, and some heat embossing using our white heat emboss ink. So a very simple project using one of the new products that will be coming out in our January mini catalogue. So I'm really loving this stamp set. I love all the beautiful florals. you would think that having all sons, I might be all more into masculine cards, but I'm not. I really love my florals, and yeah, and that was just a little fun, quick card to make. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Now let me just flip this camera over. Won't be a sec. So if you managed to join me today, thank you very much for joining. I hope you've enjoyed seeing that card. For an impromptu card making Facebook Live, I think we did pretty well. So have a lovely weekend, and hopefully next Friday I will have a less of a busy week, and we'll be back at 1 o'clock next Friday afternoon. So we'll see you then with another card. Bye for now.